Oh boy. Oh boy. Looky here. Do not adjust
Hey.
your sets. Do not adjust your fine tuning or I know it's old school if you say fine tuning on stuff, like we used to do in the old days with the little thing on the but do not adjust your picture because you're right. There's no blonde among us right now. Well, there might be here in a minute, but there's not one right now. And she had another little interview she had to do tonight. So we get to have fun when the cat's away, right?
Oh yeah. There are no
What's your
more.
week
There's
been
no
like there,
adult
Donnie?
supervision. What's up?
Yeah. What's your week been like so far?
Pretty standard fare. Just work, usual day-to-day grind.
Yeah, mine has not been. It's been fighting sickness since Monday or not Monday, but Sunday ish, and just been fighting it all week. Had a little dinner with Tex last night and stuff, and that just set me off on another tangent. So yay, I'm here, but not by much. And if I disappear, ladies and gentlemen, it's because part of the town is going in and out of power, and I don't know why or how come, but we've had a little bit of flicker here and there. But I'm going to say if I drop off, you know what happens. So I'm gone. I got knocked
Don't
out.
worry, I'll be here.
Yeah, you guys will understand what we're take care of Donnie while I'm gone, please. But hey, so since we don't have Brandy here, and we don't have to plug any crazy other stuff. Patty, Texas, doing good. He made me work for him yesterday. He called me up and said, "Hey, come on over," because he needed help moving stuff. So I moved some stuff with him, and then he had to buy the payment, shall we say, and it didn't help. It hurt. So, anywho, so we don't really have a whole lot going on this week other than that. I mean, just I don't know what they got for tomorrow night on the Blondes. I don't know what's going on Rob's shows. All I do is download them, put them on the podcast network, and say bye bye. I'm a done.
Yep.
So, without any further ado, we have with us let me get there. The Southern Ghost Girls
And guy.
tours, and I messed it up. I knew I was gonna mess it up. Southern Ghost Girl tours and paranormal investigations. This is their logo. I got it from their Facebook page, and we have Leslie Hyde and Mark. And Mark, I can't see the rest of your name, but I'm gonna bring you up in just a second, and I just know that you're there. Leslie Hyde and Mark Travis.
Hey.
Hey.
So
And
you have one ghost girl tonight. The other ones had some sickness going on, and a guy.
And a guy.
I know how that one works quite well. So
and Poochie's on the here too.
all right. Well, we all love dogs. We love dogs around here. So that's something we don't care. They can come on. They can do whatever they want. We just let them
How do
roll.
you not love dogs?
They literally
I
are
know.
migrating towards this.
Well, they know they're going to be the center of attention now. We will stop a show to look at a dog. Okay, I'll just let you know that when Toby gets up there, everybody in chat will be sitting there. Oh, there's a super dog.
And here's
Yep.
Thea right here.
He's the unofficial mascot of this channel.
Yeah, of all the channels, really. But so I'm going to turn this over to you guys and let you kind of give you an explanation or a brief synopsis of what you guys do. What do you? I know that Brandy and Kristen met y'all in Alabama at the Paracon there for Greg Ogles' Vanish premiere. So tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, I'm Leslie Ann Hyde, and so I founded the Southern Ghost Girls Tours back in 2018. We were, we'll say were because there's guys now in the group.
Yeah.
A group of ladies. We all are professionals during the day, have normal jobs, but we all were either mediums, had paranormal experiences happening throughout our entire lives, and so so I formed the group, and then the tour company also. So we actually bring paranormal investigations, ghost walks, murder mysteries, things like that to Alabama and some in Georgia and Tennessee. So we do that to raise money for historic preservation. All the places we we investigate, of course, have to have
Yeah.
historic value. So we've raised, I know, at least $500,000 to date
Wow.
to give back to
Cool.
these places and
Oh,
other
nice.
charities.
Yeah. And that helps
Sweet.
for later on with other people, obviously that want to investigate it or want to check it out. They're still there for them to check out, that way.
Yes, yes. A lot of this stuff, especially during COVID, some of the historic homes that we do our investigation, our tours, our public tours regularly at,
Yeah.
they would have been shut down. I mean, they're like on the brink of, because that's kind of like the last thing standing, or people just don't really
Well,
care about that. But
yeah, I mean, it's honestly,
yeah.
that's what they don't want to go out and do a ghost hunt or go pay to do a ghost hunt when they're worried about if I'm going to get sick doing it, type thing. So
Right. But we kept a lot of these honestly open through COVID. We continue doing our tours, of course, safely, and we had to wear a mask and things like that. But
yeah,
we really have helped out, and that's what I'm really proud
good.
about.
And you should be, because there's so many of them that did go under because of it.
Yes. And then we are big animal lovers.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of our tours we give back to some of the animal shelters, humane
Okay.
societies, rescues. And we actually sponsor dogs too at some of the rescues.
So a little
Gotcha.
background on that. Leslie's Facebook feed was inundated a couple years ago with a county not too far from us with information that they had converted over to a kill shelter. And so for some crazy reason, Leslie just bit into it. Next thing you know, there was
meant to be
about 5 different television stations up there. And
Good.
next thing you know, we're best friends with them. And we try to go up twice a month, and we'll highlight 3 different dogs that are about to be put down.
Gotcha.
And we will actually do a video with them and put them on our Facebook page. We've got about 30,000 followers there. And we, at every event, we tell them, hey, if you see a dog that we sponsor, that means that we pay the adoption fees. All you got to do is let us know or let the animal shelter know, and it'll go from there.
Yeah.
And
Where's the adoption them from that point, huh?
I think to date we've about over 300. The first dog I actually drove from here to Fayetteville, West Virginia, to meet a fella from Boston. So that dog
that's almost halfway there, right?
Oh yeah. So he's an Alabama dog up in Boston, going, man, it sure is cold about now.
He's just kidding. Don't let him outside. He's gonna get lost in that.
Not
snow.
at all.
But that is cool. I mean, y'all are probably the first ones I've heard actually doing that kind of stuff, especially on the animals shelter side.
Yeah.
So
well, we just I always tell people I went through a midlife crisis, and I've been in insurance forever, and I was like, I just I love the paranormal, and I was doing that.
I'm in insurance also.
You do what?
Yeah,
I'm in insurance also.
Okay.
It's a fun biz. I like my job. I have fun.
Well, I've just been in it so long, and I was like, I just need something new to do. That I'm not dealing with disgruntled customers all the time. So I started the tour group, and it kind of took off.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a full-time job, actually.
Yeah.
The tour company is.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Every town in the South, especially, from Tennessee down through Atlanta and down even, Charleston. Charleston's a big, ghost hunt town, or ghost walk town, I should say, not ghost hunt. But, you got tours all over the place. I mean, there are people doing tours everywhere, and it started doing it a little bit here in Texas too. So, I mean, there's always, depending on if you build your reputation, obviously, there's always that source of income, if you want to call it that.
Well, we were kind of one of the first ones here in Alabama to start, and our first one was in Birmingham, and I think we had 250 people show up to do the tour the first night, and then the news stations were there. So this was kind of something new. and Radical back in 2018, I think.
Oh yeah, around there, yeah, especially.
Yeah. So I've been called everything in the world, from whatever, but I'm just a normal person. I love the paranormal. I would consider myself a medium, and I've
Okay,
had things happen since I was 6. So I try to use that for the good,
yeah.
and with a tour company.
So
No,
would you consider
Randy,
yourself? Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
one thing you mentioned reputation.
Hmm.
One thing that sets Southern Ghost Girls apart from pretty much everybody out there is we advertise. We're a family friendly type environment.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of guests, customers that come on tour with us that bring their children with them,
Yeah.
and it's really a cool thing. We operate in the love and in the light. We kind of sort of start our tours off by telling folks, hey, look, if you came here to look for the devil or poke the bear, there's
Yeah.
the door over there, because we work in the love and the light space.
Okay.
And one thing that does set us apart from some folks is it's all about respect. We're not out there to when we make contact, we're not challenging spirit. We want to hear their story respectfully
Okay.
and go that way. And we get so much positive feedback from the public that comes to our tours. And matter of fact, we've teamed up with several historic venues because of that. And
Yeah.
we've gotten a lot of really good exposure because our approach.
Yeah, because I can tell you right now, there's a lot of them that I've seen that they won't even allow anybody under 15 or whatever on the
Yeah.
tour, and I'm like, you just negated a whole bunch of people that would like to go on it with a, let's say, an 8, 9, 10-year-old. Now, that 8, 9, 10-year-old is going to be plastered against his mom and dad's leg, pretty much some of the times. But you're not out to get the scare. You're trying to spread the history to start with, really, right out the bat.
Yeah, and everybody, I mean, I'll sometimes get questions, is there an age limit for your ghost hunts and
Yeah.
paranormal investigations? And I'm like, no, there's not. I mean, just as long as your child is not, is respectful and it is
Yeah.
a ghost hunt, not running
I mean,
around
you
all
don't want to have a bring, and I hate to say it like this, but you don't want to bring a child under the age of 3 or 4, that's going to
Right.
be constantly bored. First of all, they're going to be bored.
Right.
They will be bored. So
Now, Randy, one thing that we kind of sort of have noticed when parents bring their children that are interested in paranormal, we're at the historic Gwinnett County Courthouse.
Oh yeah.
And we had a little boy there that was 9-ish. He was 8 years old, and we were so impressed with this young man because the questions that he was asking, and his mom was kind of sort of looking at him like
She was shocked.
because he was telling us with his mom listening, like he's got a friend that's there in his room sometimes, and the
Yeah.
questions that he was asking us, we were looking at his mom going, hey.
Yeah,
you
he
know?
was very in tuned to. I feel like this child was gifted. He was, we were doing the investigation, and he was just like he was a 30-year-old, asking
Yeah.
these questions using the equipment. It was crazy. And then
Yeah.
just this past weekend, we were down in Bon Secour, Alabama, near Gulf Shores. So we had a 6-year-old girl. I mean, the mother, she actually called me and said, hey, can I bring a 6-year-old? She's really into this. And she's kind of, gifted too. She has, and I was like, sure, I mean, and then she was asking really relevant questions, really intelligent. So
Okay.
the ghost tours that say no kids, I don't really, here's Poochie again. I don't really
Yeah,
go by
no.
that rule, just as long as everyone's respectful. Poochie, what are you doing?
Now, let me ask a question out there: that do y'all allow autistic children to take your tours as well?
Yes, I mean,
as long as we look at everyone as the same, regardless of age limit. Now we do have a limitation as far as an age restriction on one thing that we do called the human pendulum.
Some of the things we do.
But other than that, as long as you're respectful and not a distraction or a disruption, then we'd love to have you.
And that question was, do you let autistic children come? And we've had autistic children and adults come, and sometimes, you know, they are more gifted than others and able to communicate.
It seems like a lot of them are and seem to be more in tune with that situation, I guess you might say. Of course, I'm the old scientist guy. I'm the guy that if I'm sitting there seeing something, I want to know why I'm seeing it type thing. But I still have fun with it, no matter what. But I mean, with the autistic children, and you just don't have any of these tours that really accept it like that, because they're always afraid the kids are going to take something away from what they want to sell, is what I kind of gathered from some of them, especially in the bigger cities and such. Like Baltimore has a ghost walk on in the Inner Harbor area, and I think they had an age limit. You had to be 17 to go on it, if I'm not mistaken. But
and it's the younger generation too, that they're growing up on watching all the paranormal TV and everything.
Don't say his name. We don't talk about he who must not be named.
No, I'm not saying any names, but they, you know, they are the ones with the open minds.
Honestly, there's some nights that the energy is, and we tell everybody, hey, you know, the hunt is your hunt. We're your guide, and keep your energy going and all this crazy stuff. And there's some nights we get wore out as the guides, because the people aren't asking questions. And then these kids will fire these questions, and they're relevant. And when the evidence is coming through, we can always count on the younger folks to jump in. And then that spurs other questions from the adults as well.
Exactly. I could see that happening all day long. Cause I mean, you talk about kids when they start asking mom and dad, hey, I thought I heard this over here. Or, hey, I think this person's there. And hey, I think there's a cat behind you right there. I just saw him. He's back there. No, he's actually back there behind you.
and then of course, you know, we just make it we go above and beyond and be accommodating. I don't know. What would you say? Just like, we just want to make sure this is offered to everybody, and so that everyone can experience this in a safe space.
Yeah.
And that no one feels, you know, because you have people that come and they're like, hey, I have this, you know, dark shadow man that stands over me at night, you know, and they're like, am I crazy? You know, this gives them a safe space to talk about this stuff and experience things together. 100%. So I think that's one of the things that really kind of set us apart in the beginning. With our tours.
Yeah, I could see where y'all are setting yourself apart right now, just from that one aspect alone. But so where do you usually go to do your tours? You said you do it all around the South. Just any place that contacts you say, hey, come do one? Or
well, we do them in Birmingham. Here in Alabama is Birmingham, Huntsville. I mean, anywhere from Huntsville down south to Gulf Shores. We do a jail in Jasper, Georgia.
I've got to ask, how many times have you done the Hank Williams grave? That's all I'm going to ask.
We actually have not, but I passed by it, the exit, just the other day.
Really?
Randy, we'll say this. We do a venue in Montgomery called the Fitzgerald.
I know where the Fitzgerald's at, yeah.
Okay. So we're not too far from Hank's grave. Nope. But we're kind of sort of still in tune with F. Scott Fitzgerald and Zelda, and trying to go down that road right now. But we passed by Hank's grave a good bit.
Now, one thing I would like to say, like we just look on our Facebook page or our website, you can see. But we've probably done like probably 80 to 100 different venues.
Oh yeah.
But one of our most favorite places is if you've heard of the Muscle Shoals Sound, the
Oh yeah,
recording
the
studio.
recording studio. Heck yeah.
Yes. And they actually just contacted me this morning saying, "Hey, Leslie, do you want to come back and do another ghost hunt?" And
wow.
it's incredible what we have. We have
No,
our
see, that's
evidence
one of
that
the
has
bucket
come
list
through.
type things right there, because how do you know
Now,
you don't go
Randy,
in
I
there
don't
and
want to. I don't want to be throw a spoiler in here, but we can get down and dirty real quick. We were invited to the Muscle Shoal Sound Studio,
yeah,
and we were told that there are some big name folks out there that have lobbied to get in there for quite some time, and they've always been turned down. And currently, we're the exclusive paranormal team that gets the invite, and we've gone
Yep.
to Muscle Shoal Sound Studio and done several public.
At Cypress
We've
Moon.
gone to Cypress Moon and done a couple privates over there.
wow,
But
really?
I'll just kind of sort of put you in our shoes. You've got a group of people. You're standing next to the piano that Freebird was recorded on.
Uh-huh.
And
old time rock and roll was
Yep.
was da, 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 da.
Yep. That same piano, right?
You've got a person, a volunteer that's volunteered for Human Pendulum, and you're getting spirit. And the question is, are you famous? And they indicated yes.
Okay.
And then the next question was, did you ever record here? And they indicated no. And then at that moment, the name popped in my head, and the person that was in front of the pendulum was the husband to the lady. And at the same time, he and I said the same name and indicated yes. Now, here's the thing. Are you ready?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
You're the investigator. You've got a crowd of people there, and the name pops out. Is this Elvis? And it's a yes.
And the
Wow.
equipment, but the equipment was going off at the same exact time in unison. If this is Elvis, can you ring the bell twice or light up the REM pod twice?
And it went crazy. So here's the deal. You're the investigator, right? What's the first question you ask to Elvis?
Oh no.
Think about it, right?
Are you still alive?
So the question was, are you mad that they misspelled your name on the tombstone?
Yeah.
And he said yes.
Yeah, I can understand that.
But anyway, that's just a tidbit there.
But yeah, at that place, if you ever got a chance to come and investigate with us there, that would be awesome. We invite everybody because I know we've communicated with our equipment and through mediumship with Ronnie Van Zant, of Leonard Skinner.
Dwayne
Allman came through. It's incredible.
I don't even want to investigate. I just want to sit in the recording studio. That's all I care about. I just want to sit there and take it all in. That's all I care about.
When so many hits were recorded there, and people from all over the world.
Franklin. There. I mean, yeah.
And the energy when you walk in there, this is just not even on a ghost tour. This is just someone walking to visit. The energy is it just changes. It's like this electric energy, and all these people have recorded music there that is just classic, classic rock. I mean, that will never go away.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's one of our that's a fun one. So if anybody ever wants to join
that would
us,
be fun.
check it
sounds
out.
like to me. It really would. I'd be, like I said, you had to drag me out of there kicking and screaming probably because I don't want to leave. But that's just because of the history of the place, though. Honestly, more than anything, I don't care if I run into anything comes through. I just want to breathe the same air. That's all I care about.
It's pretty cool.
It's really incredible.
So, anywho, so doing there, and you do a lot of Alabama stuff, and you sent me a couple of things, Leslie, earlier, and I've got one of them up here. It's a video, and let me see what I wrote everything down to make sure. This is what is the Atrox factory? What is that?
Okay, so the H-Rocks factory, it is actually the biggest like haunted house in the Southeast.
Scary, spooky house.
The jump scare stuff. So during the
Okay.
Halloween, it's like the largest haunted theme house, whatever it's called. So I
Okay.
had received a call from the owner, Paul. I didn't know him or anything, and he had heard about us, and he had said we had a couple other people, like some a medium from around here and a team come in and investigate, because we have been experiencing voices and things moving, and people have seen a security guard. I mean, the keys. Yes, and he said that these things are really happening. This is not just a spook house. And he said, I need to get to the bottom of this, what's going on. And the other people they had talked to, they won't even go back. Because they said they had such a crazy experience there. But
so a lot of the props that are in this place were purchased, like for instance, morgue tables, body boxes, things. These are used medical equipment that have attachments to them, and the property itself. Through our investigation, we found some resident spirit as well.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a spooky house, and they put about 30 or so thousand people through it during the month of October.
Okay.
But he contacted Leslie to say, hey, there's some strange things going. We had a paranormal team come in. We'd love for you guys. We've heard about you. I got a great reputation. Would y'all mind coming out and letting us know? So we went out and investigated, and our minds were blown.
Yeah, but it's a historic place too. It was a factory built like in the 1930s.
So this was different from like a tour though that you guys usually give, right? This was like a full on like private investigation.
Yes, it was a private investigation, because we always like to go out to the places before we offer it to the public to do a private as a group.
Yeah.
But then he was so impressed that he invited us to actually host the first ever paranormal investigations there. So we just had one February 13th on Friday the 13th there, and then we're doing a public paranormal investigation on March 13th, which is Friday the 13th. So, but I sent you some some good evidence that we captured there that really blew our mind.
Yeah. I'm about to bring this one up. This is the table tipping that you sent me first. Okay. Add this to the stage now. This is you guys, from what you've written to me, is just doing a table tipping with a public ghost hunt on this one.
Yes, this was the first one we had done.
Okay. So just listen to this, and hopefully everybody can hear it okay. I noticed a lot of the recordings I got were kind of a little bit low. I'm trying to get some of them up a little bit, but I don't know if I got it up enough. But we're going to see what we got right here.
Do you like it when people come visit you here?
Okay, what was that?
I have no idea.
Okay, I'm gonna pause right there. What was that part? It sounded like a harpsichord to me, is what it sounded like.
Mm-hmm.
So we were doing the table tipping, which is one of the things that we love. We specialize in, really. And this was they have it set up. It's like a funeral home. There's coffins around there that were actually used. And there was a piano in the corner, and the piano was roped off. I mean, nobody could go back there. Okay. And then we had, we also had a dead bell. If you've heard about the dead bell that rings, we had it set up on the other side from the piano inside of a coffin. Okay. Gotcha. So when that question was asked, and we don't know. I mean, we still don't know if it came from the piano. It was like music, like you said, a harpsichord.
Yeah, it sounded like a harpsichord is what it sounded like. Yeah.
So, Randy, if you go back and listen to that clip, you'll actually hear the piano key up as well as the dead bell go off at the same time.
But that's the crazy thing. But we still don't know if it was the piano. It was just like a disembodied harpsichord thing that came. Yeah.
It did not sound like a piano, honestly. It sounded like a harpsichord, but I backed it up a little bit. And let's see what we get right here real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I could hear the bell that time. Listening to it, I can hear the bell. So, and it could be the piano could be getting an off key little hit at the same time and giving the harpsichord sound, but that's wild. So yeah, that was the first thing I noticed when you sent this. Now we'll let this continue on and we'll see what else we got here.
Okay, what was that?
I have no idea. That's weird. Is this somebody's phone or something?
Is there a piano in here?
There is.
Yeah, there's a piano. Was that the piano?
That's what it sounded like.
Now I see that key there that's still pressed. Did you notice that?
No.
Here, let me back this up just a couple seconds.
And I noticed now they thought the piano was broken. It didn't even work.
It looks like it's pressed to me, so that when it goes back to it, look at it here real quick.
Is that the piano?
That's what it sounded like.
See that key?
It sounded like
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Piano though. I don't think there's any strings in it.
Okay, for real. For real. Did you get that?
I mean,
Yeah.
that sounded like music. Like
No, that was like a radio music. It's not anybody's phone, correct?
No.
I just typed.
Okay, so you've got a crowd obviously in here with you, and it's a public hunt, quote unquote. So everybody's chiming in, obviously. Now I'm trying to figure out. and I know you sent this to me. I'm gonna pull the audio off of it, see if there's any way I can get under it, because you may have something going underneath all these voices too, that's being said that has not been noticed before. You know what I mean?
Right.
So let's finish this one out here real quick.
So that was honestly like.
So it is a real piano?
Yeah.
Yes, but only some of the keys work because I tapped a few.
Well, that sounded like something that there was something wrong with it.
And that was none of y'all's
No.
phones or anything over here.
And
And there's nobody over there. There is nobody.
No one that we're
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, judging from what I see there, there's no way that thing should have ever played at all. Honestly speaking.
But honestly, when I heard it, and I think most of the people heard it, it did not sound like the piano. It sounded like it just came from the air. But what was so relevant too was that dead bell that was on the other side inside of a coffin, which is roped off also. Any of these things he has in there were ropes around so people couldn't go behind them.
Yeah.
It went off at the same exact time. So and I know the cameraman, he was a skeptic. And he went into it like because he films, a lot of stuff. And he said, I didn't believe it. He said, I didn't believe in any of this, but he like fist bumped me and he said, we're in this for life now. because that was crazy.
Yeah, that was it caught me off guard when I heard it the first time. I was like, okay, I got to make sure I ask about it. Now, Reign of Cleopatra actually comes up and they asked straight out, okay, I just rewound it. Does it sound like an old school clock? And then asked, is there a grandfather clock or some sort of clock in that area?
I don't remember seeing one. I could go through and look at my pictures, but no, there's like 3 coffins and that piano was over there.
Yeah.
And a bookcase is behind us, but I don't remember a clock.
Yeah, and when they said that, it dawned on me. Yeah, that kind of sounds like a gong or a ding from a grandfather clock or grandmother clock, whatever the chimes that come out of them. It could have been that real easy, but if there isn't any there, obviously we're not going to see that.
Well, Randy, that's the same room that during our private investigation, we had some disembodied voices come through the wall through a picture. So when you said if it's not in there, you might not hear it. Well, we had disembodied voices.
You've heard other stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah. So
and like I said, I don't. Go ahead.
The owner's son, he actually was with us during the private investigation.
Hmm.
And like I said, we got these voices. I did not send this to you. I was, trying to get some stuff. I did not send
Yeah, no
that
worries. No
voice
worries.
to you. He actually got so affected that he started like crying. I mean,
Really?
he would never go. He just is not going to ever go.
he volunteered to do the human pendulum with a small group,
Yeah.
and once we put him in,
He said that was
he won't go back in that room, and that's his dad's place. So he's not going back in that room.
I know a bunch of people on the Estes method that won't do it after doing it the first time too.
Yeah.
right. It's just like
Yeah.
they, but he got very emotional. I guess not crying, but he got very emotional, and he's
Mhm.
like, this was because what we had, we felt like was coming through was someone that had been actually in those coffins, because he
Okay.
said that he had bought those from funeral homes because they use these coffins for people like to, I guess, display the
For
body and then
viewings.
they're cremated. Yeah, for viewing and cremated.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
so who knows, what it could be, but that was kind of crazy.
And you got to thanks there from Marina Cleopatra. Thank you for your research. So,
Okay.
and that's
And,
really
and
cool.
I'm telling
That's
you,
really cool stuff, though.
if we thought it was not, real, like paranormal, we wouldn't, because that's one thing, we don't fake anything at all.
Yeah, that's Randy. That like Leslie was saying, that's one thing that we tell folks at the beginning. We guarantee our folks that we'll do our best, and that we're 100% organic. We
Mhm.
work in the love and the light, and that's it. That's all we got. And if things
Yeah.
if things get active, then that's great. But I'll tell you, the nights that things aren't that active, it kind of sucks to begin with, but then things will pick up later. But we just, that's our commitment is we're going to do our best. And if things work out the way we hope they do, then it's all good.
And me and him are the same way. I mean, Donnie's been on ones like me too. I can count hundreds of investigations that I've been on that nothing has happened, but I keep going back because of the 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 that I actually get something going on.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like playing golf. You play golf, you play like crap for 17 holes, and you hit a birdie on the 18th hole. You're like, I'm coming back and doing it again, type thing.
That's right.
So, but anyway, now we're moving on to this one that I just I just brought this one up. This is another. I believe it was a table tip, and I think it was the second one you sent me, or the second table, I should say. And this one, let me see if I can find it here real quick. That was the EVP session. No, I didn't get it. Hang on, I'm missing. I didn't write it down though. But either way, okay. This one, you could tell us what this one is about. How's that?
Okay. So this one, this is called the Isabel Anderson Comer Museum, and it's in Sylacauga, Alabama. And they invited us to do publics, and we've done private and then the public. So we've done about 3 of them there. Well, there is a specific doll that was donated to the museum, and her name is Harriet. She was donated, and she's a French boudoir doll from the early 1900s. She actually is sitting in the chair.
Okay.
We have her sitting in the chair next to the table. She's smoking a cigarette. It's so crazy. But there's a backstory about that too, how she came about. But it was, it was donated. But we were sitting here at the table, and after this, we kind of all looked at each other, and everybody's going, "We're nuts. We're sitting here talking to a doll." And this is nuts. We're like communicating and asking questions and asking the table to turn, because the table, it'll turn. We'll say, ask it to turn left or right. But anyway, this was at the beginning of the tipping table session. It was a 30-minute video, but I sent you the beginning, and this was a pretty good
The 17
orb
seconds here.
that showed up.
Yeah, this one coming a little off guard, so we'll go and play this one real quick. And everybody in the chat already knows my feeling on orbs to start with. I'm not an orb guy in any way, shape, or form, but some of them, you got to look at twice. So here we go.
This is Leslie, and we're here in Silicon, and we are continuing our. It looks like it's no. It said no. Okay, on the.
Now you saw that, right?
Hey.
It said no.
Before she started talking there, and you can barely hear you because you're across the table. Are y'all hearing it at all? Did I put the actual sound going? Did everybody hear it?
It's kind of slow on our end of seeing it.
There's a little lag there, Randy, but what you're looking at, if you start from the beginning of this 11-second clip, is they're asking a question, and there's an orb that comes from the right side of the screen, and they ask, if such and such, then touch the REM pod, and this orb literally goes across the table and touches the REM pod and sets it off.
We have been just
okay, because
but see, I'm not an orb person either. Like I debunk the orbs all the time, but this one was pretty cool.
But you can't deny this one.
Well, I can, but I'm not going to because I agree with you.
Okay,
It goes against the rest of them. So, but anyway, take a look at this again.
Let's try to. And we're here, and we are continuing our conversation. It said no. The flashlight came on first.
All right.
You got hey. Or just went that way and hit that.
I couldn't see it.
Yeah, it's lagging too much. Randy, why don't you just upload the video file directly to StreamYard?
Yeah, I'm going to have to on this one, I guess. I don't know what's going on with it, but like I said, I'm having issues all the way around in the city.
Player. Yeah,
because you can see it very, very clearly. It literally just goes beep, and then like that REM pod goes off. But again, you had different things going on. We had a mag light set up right there that came on. Mm-hmm. The flux was to my left, set up on a cabinet, and we asked it to say red for no, green for yes, and the red came on. Yeah, and then it was just like a few seconds later.
I heard you say that.
So you had several things happening, and that's when that happens. It's more believable that hey, what is this? That just happened.
Exactly. So it's uploading right now. Now, I could easily be having an issue on my end as far as the lag and such. So that could be the problem as well. But we got 18 seconds what we got. So here we go. I'm going to play it real quick. We won't be able to talk while it's playing on this, though. So.
This is Leslie, and we're here in Silicon, and we are continuing our conversation. It said no. It said no. Okay, on the flip.
You got hey. Or just
there it went.
I saw it.
Now I pulled that back down. You saw that real easy, right? Because it went past, it went straight at it, and then it dinged. So there's no other. It doesn't look like there's any other wind flow. Do what?
That worked so much better.
Yeah, I just can't stop it and move it around. That's all.
Yeah.
But that's other than when we started audio.
I mean, we've seen tons of orbs, a good bit, but we've never really had an orb do something we ask it to, like, hey, go set the REM pod off, and and it traveled across and made it go off.
Yeah, because I mean, when you're listening to this, I'm gonna play it one more time. The whole thing. It's 18 seconds. I'm play it. I can barely hear what's being said before, but
watch the flashlight, then flux, which is on the opposite side, and then that orb.
Yeah, and we could barely see that flux that's on that side. But let's take a look at it one more time.
Leslie, and we're here in Silicon, and we are continuing our conversation. It said no. It said no. Okay, on the flux.
You got hey. Or just went that way and hit that. I saw it on here.
Yeah, it went straight for that light, and then it blinked. I saw that.
And that was cool. I mean, of course, the flashlight part was cool too when it come on. I was like, I saw you react to that, and then you reacted to the flux on the other side.
Okay. Yeah, that was really really good evidence. And I mean, there's really no way. I mean, I've tried to debunk it or whatever, but when you have several things in unison going off, and I just don't think Harriet wanted to continue the conversation. The doll, it was nuts. So
She's like, please. Okay, look at that. Play it again. One more time, Patty. You got to pay attention now. Watch her. All right, y'all. Listen. You can barely hear Leslie when she's talking, but she is saying, and she stops when she sees the light, and then she says it says no when she talks about the plug. That's when the order. Who's the lady that's actually doing the video?
who's taking the video? Someone on
Yeah,
our
who's the
team.
lady that's actually doing the video? Okay.
Someone on the team.
The Alabama. Yeah, when you can hear the Alabama coming out. She lets out. She's really going in the head right there. So, but let's look at what we got right here. One more time, please, just for you. Well, maybe not. Y'all said
Oh,
all.
Randy, your connection.
This is Leslie, and we're here in Silicon, and we are continuing our conversation. It said no.
All right.
Yeah.
Can y'all see me or hear me now?
Yeah, you're getting more
I
and
don't know
more
what's
pixelated and choppier. I think your
Yeah, I
internet
have a
is
feeling I'm about to go crap on me.
yeah, it's that
This is Leslie, and we're here in Silicon, and we are continuing our conversation. It said no. It said no. Okay, on the look.
You got to, hey, or just went that way and hit that. I saw it on here.
Yep, I saw it.
And she saw it real easy now. So
Yeah.
is that better now? Am I
Yeah.
better? Because if I have to go out and come back in, I will. So, it was, she saw it real easy. You know what I mean? And that's why I was
Yeah.
like, she was really. I would have if it had been me, I wouldn't even paid attention to that. I would probably just like
Right.
thought it was dust going by or whatever. She actually saw
Right.
it. So
That's the thing about like orbs.
Right.
It often looks like a camera artifact. So even though you see it in the picture, like rarely will you ever see people actually acknowledging it. In that instance, people are acknowledging it. They're seeing it in real
Yeah.
time. And even the background, that light is reacting to it. That's a different thing all entirely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great. I mean, and we love it there. Harriet is very haunted. I'll just say that. It's a different energy.
Now, guys, I don't really want to brag on us all that much.
Mhm.
It's gonna sound braggadocious, but here's just the real truth about it. Every ghost hunt that we go on,
Mhm.
every paranormal investigation, we have something interesting like that happen. Whether it's taking photos and then we go back and review photos after the fact, we
Mhm.
find things, or videos right then, or whatever it is. We have pretty good results.
Every time.
Not
I mean,
every time, but most of the time.
Okay, I've got a couple questions. What kind
Sure.
of equipment do you like to use? Because I know you like to use, because I've had experience with table tipping as well. And like, do you guys, you guys obviously record everything. Are there other types of like equipment or investigation tools you guys favor?
Well, we always say on our tours we're going to combine the old school methods with the new stuff. So, of course, the table that was just from a antique store in Huntsville, Alabama, is just
Yeah.
on a lazy Susan, and it will turn. But I mean, we use, of course, the REM pods, my dead bell, the spirit candle. That's one of my favorites right now. Maglite, different cameras. Estes method.
K2s,
I mean,
LED
method.
down
Nice.
we've even got the light strip. You name it. We kind of sort of joke at the
Thermal
beginning.
cameras.
Thermal cameras. we joke at the beginning and we tell everybody, hey, look, if you want to get rich quick, start building paranormal equipment because this stuff's fairly expensive. And if you stick it in your pockets and go home with it, we're going to send a ghost to haunt you for the rest of your life. So they return it.
I gotta ask, why table tipping over? Because people are going to ask, why table tipping over Ouija boards? Because they're kind of in concept similar-ish,
They
right?
could be, but again, we don't want to associate it. It's just that the Ouija board has such a bad reputation, and we're in the Bible Belt here in Alabama too. And if you mention Ouija board, people freak out.
It's a different conversation for sure. So we tell folks now, Donnie, we've had folks go, "Oh, it's like a Ouija board." We go, "No, it's not."
So
Mary Todd Lincoln had one. Albert Einstein had one.
The tipping,
a tipping table, that is.
Queen Victoria was documented, doing this. So, and then another thing is a lot of the places that we investigate are historical, homes are built in 1840s, 80s. A bunch of the places are like that. So we also, on our public tours, we dress in authentic historical clothing. That's kind of a different thing for us too. We feel like that's a trigger object when we do dress in the historical clothing. But again, I feel like at those venues, especially the ones from the 1800s, when people actually did the table tipping more often to communicate with the deceased, I feel like it's a better way to communicate. but we do combine, the new and the old.
Yeah, it's hard to describe table tipping to people who've never done it because they only see it, and when they look at the videos, it just looks like a table is tipping. But for those of you listening who've never tried it, if you're actually doing it, it's a very different experience. It's like the table does more than just tip, first of all, right? Like I've seen instances where that table was straight up like walking towards a person.
It's really crazy.
It feels like at times it's like vibrating. It's a completely tactile. And I feel like watching videos of it doesn't really do it justice at all.
No. The first time I ever did it was with a private investigation, and that was at the Thomas House Hotel in Tennessee. You probably have heard of it. And it was private. I actually, and I'm like I said, I'm a medium, and I experience things all the time. And the first time I ever did it, and the table actually started turning, I started screaming. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy!" It was shocking to me. So the videos do not do it justice. You have to be sitting there, and when things start turning or tipping or whichever way, it blows your mind. And sometimes I feel like people that are on our tours, they don't realize that this is such a big deal. And I'll tell you, sometimes it never does turn or tip or anything. There's nights on those public tours that it won't do anything.
We've had some instances literally where we've had to ask the table to stop turning.
But then there's been
that much energy in a place. One night in particular at the South Pittsburgh Hospital, I had to walk out of the room. We were downstairs in Jim's room, and Leslie was doing tipping table. And I walked back in the room, and we had 4 customers sitting around the table, and none of them had their hands on the table, physically touching it, and it was moving that night as well.
Yeah, that's what I was about to add. Like when I did it, I felt like I was not even touching it, like kind of like, and that table was all over the place. It was crazy.
Right, and you can tell, or I will stop it if someone is faking it, and you can tell that they're mashing down or something. I will stop it. I'm not.
That's the thing. Like before the session, I was sitting by myself with it, and I tried to see what it would take to actually like physically like fake move it. It's a lot because of the way the table is, right? The base is
Right.
splayed out. It's tall. Um, the only way I realized to get it to move the way it did for us is if you would have to actually put your hands under the table and then move it around. We had
Right,
our
right.
fingers over it like this. There was no way that table was moving around like that. Not for it to actually walk towards a person.
Oh yeah,
But again,
that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of
it,
energy. And but
yeah,
again, there's sometimes that you're there and it doesn't do anything all night, and I'll me personally, I don't resonate very well with the table myself. I mean, I will do it, but there's others on the team that I feel their energy's just different with the table. I don't know. I can't explain it to you. So
And even with we've actually had to change the energy up with who's sitting at the table.
yeah.
And it's
yeah,
crazy once you get the right combination of folks there, it's either going to work or it's not. And so we tell folks, hey, look, it's cool, but if you don't mind, let's swap you out with somebody else. And then the next
yeah.
thing you know, it starts going and it's crazy.
Yeah, sometimes it'll talk to some, and we actually on the tours, of course, we're looking to communicate with spirit, any spirit that would come through, and we have a lot of people that do the table, and they have relatives that come through, like a son, or a father,
It
and
gets real emotional.
and they start
Very,
crying, and
yeah.
it's very emotional. But like we were saying, like on our public tours, it's just really a safe space for anybody to try this. And I tell people at the beginning of the tours, I say if we have any skeptics out there, do not ruin this for other people's experiences. You have to really be careful with that because some of
You
the
know what?
people are.
My experience has always been like I've been on a few investigations myself. The ones who were skeptical and were disrespectful were usually the ones who got it the worst from the spirits.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
by the end of the night, they're like a quivering mess in the corner, in tears
yes,
and then catatonic. And I'm like, there was this one place I went to that was really bad, that was notorious, and the 2 mediums there who were kinda like the caretakers, we had one guy in our group who was, like, disrespectful, and the,
mhm.
total skeptic, and the 2 mediums, they just kinda looked at each other, they're like, "This guy's gonna get it."
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, he's gonna get it bad, yeah.
we had one guy at a tour, like huge 6'4", wearing like Harley Davidson, motorcycle jacket. I mean,
Mhm.
he looked like a tough guy. Well, he had an experience at one of our tours, and he actually said that he was I don't remember if he said he was atheist or he was what he was, but he didn't believe in anything basically. And he said he started like quivering and crying because he had an incident on the stairs, and then he had another incident, and then he like went outside and was hyperventilating. And so the biggest tough guy there that said they don't
Yeah,
believe in nothing ends up so emotional. His wife's trying to, because you have a lot of people, that drag their husband or whoever to
yeah.
the ghost hunt, and they don't want to be there.
So part of
But
like, in our intro to our folks, we ask, hey, who here is sensitive to the paranormal? Raise your hand and you'll get, some folks. And then we'll always ask, what about our skeptics? And then you'll have some skeptics raise their hands. And then we tell them, hey, look, at the end of the hunt tonight, we're going to ask you again where you stand. And to date, well, we had one guy that we met back at the Paracon. Other than that, there's Randy. That we always get the one of 2 answers at the end of the investigation, and that's either I'm confused or I'm not a skeptic any longer. We had one guy that did our hunt, and I asked him, he said, no, I'm still a skeptic. And then we saw him the next day at the Paracon in Gardendale, and he came and found us. And he said, hey, I've had a little bit of time to think about last night. There was a lot of stuff that happened, and I got to tell you, I'm
Exactly.
definitely not a skeptic any longer. So
Yeah, it happens a lot more often than one would think. It's happened to me almost every investigation I've been on with like that one skeptic atheist guy, where he walks
Yeah.
out of there and he's just like, "Oh my God,
Oh
ghosts are
crap!
real. Oh my God." Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
I
I kind
mean
of like it. Yeah.
it's but again, they it's just so awesome to see people change their their attitude and have an open mind. And I just wish others in our world would do the same, of course,
oh yeah.
and not be judgmental. But again, I mean, that's what.
so part of the I guess the enjoyment that I personally get is we did an investigation, a public hunt down in Tuscaloosa. And we had a mother and a daughter there. And one of my gifts, I've lost a bunch of folks in my lifetime, and I'm actually a magnet for lost loved ones to come back to. So, mother and a daughter, and the husband, he had actually had an automobile accident, and she had to make the tough decision to withdraw life support. And that was a question she'd always had was it, did I make the right call?
Yeah.
He came through
On the tipping table.
and on the tipping table, and she got to get closure with asking, was it okay that the decision that she made was he okay with that? And he said, yeah,
Out the
yes.
table.
So
Yeah.
the very next night, we had another ghost hunt in Birmingham, and she brought the additional 3 children to that hunt. And
wow.
Dad came through again, and it was so emotional that these kids got to communicate with their dad again and ask them
Yeah.
some questions that they normally would not have been able to ever ask. So for me personally, it's super cool and rewarding to be able to let folks ask that final question that they
Man,
normally
that must have
wouldn't
been
get to ask.
emotional. That must have
Yeah.
been so emotional.
Yeah.
How long prior to that night had the father passed? Was it like very recent?
I don't know. I don't
It had been within the past year.
Oh man, so wow.
Yeah. Fresh in the memory still too. Then.
That,
Yeah.
man.
We've had we in Arlington and Birmingham, we had a lady and her daughter there, and there's a hospital 5 miles from us, and her boyfriend literally passed while she was at the ghost hunt.
Well,
And
it was an uncle.
an uncle, and he came through. Leslie knew it like when it happened.
Well, I started having chest pains. I mean, this was crazy. I
And
didn't
then
even know.
he came through and all that, but again, we've had, Leslie's been shocked before. She's actually had electrical burns on her shoulder.
But anyway, but but I guess we should. I mean, just wrapping that up. Like, yes, it's very emotional, and I wish more people would understand. Like, if you come to one of our tours, it's gonna be personal. I mean, we're gonna get down and dirty and personal too with
Yeah.
this, and it's not just ghost stories. Basically.
It's pretty rough when you have spirit come through. It's a lost loved one, and you ask, hey, can you see the light? It's a rough question to ask. Hopefully you get the correct answer, or you're wanting the correct answer to be, yes, I can see the light, or yes, I'm at peace.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't get that response. You get, I'm not at peace. So but we're real, and we're there. We're extremely empathetic with our guests when lost loved ones come through, but again, it is emotional. So yeah.
And after we get off the show, I'll relay a little story that I had the last one I was at Mineola, and I'll tell you the story about when we were in the back area there. But that's another one that I don't quite know. But anyway,
I got a question for you guys actually. How can you or how would you advise people to distinguish between like a positive spirit or entity versus a negative one? Because you hear about the stories where the negative ones are pretending to be positive ones, right? To try to get an in on people.
Hmm.
How do you make that distinction? How do you tell? How do you, you know?
Well, it's not, I mean, it's not easy sometimes, especially for the
Yeah.
untrained person. With me specifically, being a medium, I'm pretty good at sensing that energy. It'll be things going on with my body. I can have pains, and I will sense pretty fast. This is not who we're talking to. I'll always say that. I'm like, something switched out. This is not, and we shut it down, of course, real fast.
Hmm.
But for the untrained person, it probably is very difficult for them to distinguish between something positive and something negative.
Yeah.
And but I mean, we've ran across people.
So a great example of that was we were at the Jasper jail in North Georgia.
Yeah.
We had a group of 4 ladies ride up from Atlanta together. One of the ladies only knew one of the other ladies. That particular person was on the tipping table.
We have a video of this too.
and,
I didn't give it to you.
Okay.
So
We'll probably have you on again anyway.
she ended up going into this kind of a trance on the table, and she was literally oscillating back and forth. And we're like, hey, we need to shut this down. And when we shut it down, she couldn't disconnect
From the table.
at all.
Really?
She had some stuff hanging from her nose.
I mean, it was crazy.
And once we called Archangel Michael in to sever those ties, before her fingers left the table, her face comes up, and this voice that
Growl thing
comes from her face wasn't a feminine voice at all.
It was
Wasn't
not
her voice at all, huh?
Not at all. So at that particular place, there's a shadow man that's there.
There's some negative.
There's some negative energy, and this shadow man, we believe, posed as one of those 4 ladies had lost her son in an automobile accident, and he was coming through on the table. And we believe that the shadow man morphed in on that experience and wouldn't leave this lady. And we ended up.
That was the same lady who had the experience?
Yes.
Damn.
So the lady that had the experience had no idea that the other lady had lost her son, but she could tell everyone his hair color, his eye color, his name, the whole deal, right? So back to your question, Donnie, about negative versus the positive entities out there. We've always kind of sort of been able through mediumship to distinguish a jokester, a prankster, a trickster from the love and the light situation there. So
but the untrained person, I mean, it can be.
We tell them, hey, look, if you smell sulfur, that's not a good thing, right?
Yeah, that brimstone thing will get you going real quick.
Absolutely.
Now, we got a couple of questions. Did you bring up while I was gone, Donnie? Did you bring up Kitty Catwack stuff about the question about the children and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so first one, Kitty Catwack says, it's interesting. We were talking about children on the tours earlier. Did they pick up more than adults, or are they more sensitive? I think we kind of talked on that one, but the one she got me with was this one was, have any one of them had really a bad experience? Have you had any of the children have any bad experiences at all?
At Gwinnett County Courthouse, when we did that one, it was just a very small group tour. There was this little boy there, and he was like really intelligent and asking great questions. But then at the end of the investigation, we had some things come through that actually was connected to a missing persons that had been shot, kidnapped.
Really?
Yeah, this was crazy. We got this one filmed too, I think. But we didn't know. We had it coming through and asking and saying words and things like that through the Estes and
Tempest.
yeah, the Tempest, which is like the obelisk.
Yeah.
We went back, the boy got because it was talking about a kidnapping, you know? So he got real upset and they did leave. So that's one that I can think about. But that was kind of an oddity that we
I
had.
would imagine
kidnapped
kids would
video.
would be more like fascinated than anything. Like they'd be more locked in, being like, "Oh, really?" Like that's the thing about having kids on there. I think they'll be more like in awe and wonder.
Yes, they
And,
are.
kids eat that up. Kids eat.
So the
because I
kids
would
are
be.
the kids are a lot more
Open to me.
open to
Yeah.
things. So we do our best to shelter and protect the youth there. But again, there's nothing preconceived with the kids, so they just throw it out there and yeah.
But that's
But you can tell they're probably very fascinated. I mean, when I was a kid,
Yeah, they are.
when I
But
was a
I
kid
just
and we
think-
told ghost stories at like our church retreats and stuff, we were hook, line, and sinker. We were like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
then what
big time.
happened? Yeah.
Yes.
So
I remember being
And we
13
got-
years old at like a church retreat, and like my youth pastor, he would tell us stories about like exorcisms that he had taken part in while he was like a trainee in like South Korea. And like all and then he's telling us like 13-year-old youth group kids, and we're
Oh,
all
my
just
goodness.
like, what happened next?
Amazed. Yeah,
happened
we're amazed
next?
at that
Yeah,
stuff.
we're
Everybody was
yeah.
in that situation.
We
though.
were
I
we were
mean-
locked in. So for thinking back, like if I were like that going to an investigation, I would just be so fascinated with everything.
Yeah.
That's why I
Now-
think, sometimes having kids there is good because they're interested, and you need more people interested.
So Leslie does. She got contacted by the Girl Scouts here in Alabama a couple years
That would be
ago.
fun.
Really?
So she actually does a couple times every year. She'll actually do several groups of Girl Scouts.
I mean,
Yeah.
like actual Girl Scouts.
And you're
That
talking,
must be fun. Yeah.
groups of 30 kids or so. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
So yeah,
Yeah,
we've
that sounds like it'd be great.
done it like 4 times with the Girl Scouts, and we're supposed to do it again. I think they have a little merit badge that for
Yeah.
paranormal. I think it's
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See,
Yeah.
I've got twin
Yes.
daughters that were in Girl Scouts, and if they would bring me in because they had a myths and legends like group in school in 9th grade center and in high school, and I'd come in and do presentations to them and stuff all the time. And I'm sitting there like, if they'd had merit badges for that at the time that they were in the regular Girl Scouts, they'd have been all over that. They'd have been in that as fast as you could have
They
got.
love it. They love it. Now, they really do. It's just crazy how our youth, the younger people are just so much more open-minded than some of our, other people, older people. And that's good because things happen, things happen to
Yeah.
people that
Yep.
they can't explain, and then they
Exactly.
hide it. They don't talk about it, and then they, it's like suppressed inside them their whole life.
Well,
because
think
you
about
can't
it.
talk about it.
We didn't have podcasts when we were growing up, right? We
No.
couldn't discuss these things, so we were.
You sit
I
up
guess,
and start doing this,
isolated.
so just do this and do nothing, because we didn't have a way of venting it out,
No.
shall we say? Whereas they do. I mean, of course, this is therapeutic for all of us too, because we went through traumatic stuff as kids when we didn't even know it.
Right? Yes.
Now, Raina Cleopatra's got something here too. Going back to the one with the piano we talked about earlier. If you can check the location for with the piano, whether they had a clock or whatever, she thinks that the footage might have caught the paranormal ringing of the clock's hour.
Okay.
And
I
I'm
will definitely check. I'm gonna look at my pictures right now while we're just on here. But
Yeah.
I don't remember a clock.
Yeah.
And it seems like if there was a clock in there, it would probably be not working because everything he has in there is like
It wasn't
not
working.
working.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all prop. It's all prop stuff.
So I mean, even if there was one, we're talking about probably not working. And if it had been one to make that kind of a chime, I think y'all would have noticed it. Honestly, I really do. I think it's going to be a
Right, and
larger clock.
there was probably 12 people in that room, so somebody probably would have said, "Oh, there's a grandfather clock or something."
Yeah.
I don't remember it being there. I'm gonna look at my pictures though right now to
Now,
see if I.
now what they're talking about too with the clocks, the chiming of the clocks coming through on the paranormal side of it. I've been in places at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning that you think, okay, it's about to go off. You're waiting for the chime. The chime doesn't go off at the right exact time. It's either a minute and a half early or a couple minutes late, and all of a sudden it comes through, and you're like, why did it do this? It should have been right
Well,
at 3 or 2 or whatever the case might be.
and even if even if there was a grandfather clock in there, I still think it could have been paranormal because I
Yeah,
don't think
it was.
there's.
It would have
Let's
been.
see, I'm
It had
looking at
been
the
big.
pictures.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. I mean, like I said, I don't. It just didn't. I understand the chime sound, but I just didn't see anything in that video at all that even suggested that there was a grandfather clock in there at all, or a grandmother clock, or even a clock on the wall that would give the chime.
No.
You know
So
what
the
I think
crazy
is I'm sorry. You know what I think is a really simple investigative tool that people could bring that I think would be effective, but no one ever thinks to bring? A compass, an old
Oh
school
yeah.
compass.
Yeah, and
okay?
I've got
Because if
4
there's
of them
going to
here.
be ghost activity there, that compass shouldn't be moving because you're stationary, you're indoors. But if it's starting to spin all of a sudden,
Yeah,
and I think that'd be one of the first signs, right?
Like an
old
old
school.
lens-static compass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just a regular
yeah.
magnetic compass.
It, for lack of better terms, it's an old school REM pod. Quite
Yeah,
frankly.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, we'll do that.
Here is that room right here. I'm gonna look.
Do you guys
So
ever
the
mess with?
interesting,
Do you guys ever do dowsing rods?
all the time. Yep, yep.
Yep, I love me some
Yeah, I
dowsing
do too.
rods. Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
one of our favorite things to
So
do.
so dowsing rods. We've got the LED lit ones. You know the fancy ones.
oh, nice.
That are real cool. So when you flip all the lights off, and they change colors and all that good stuff. So one of my favorite things to do with the rods is actually have the customers push them away from their body and
Yeah.
hold one a bit above,
Mhm.
and we'll actually get them to go to spin 360 degrees, and we'll ask when spirit's there to stop, the left ride and
Yeah.
go the opposite direction, and folks lose their mind when it does that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, guys? I'm sure you've seen these like out there, like in the app stores. What are your thoughts on like those apps that they have out for like smartphones where it's like an electronic Ouija board, where like you have the app open and then you'll just get random text messages, supposedly from the other side?
I'm not a big fan of it.
No.
I mean, I use an app called Spiritus sometimes.
Yep. Yep.
I
And
I do
Ghostbot.
use Spiritus, and we have used Ghostbox, but I'm not a big
I've got, and again, we tell folks, hey, look, the best piece of ghost hunting equipment that you have on your person is your smartphone. So take plenty of pictures, take plenty of video, and then at some point somebody's going to ask, hey, do you endorse a certain app or whatever? And we
Yeah.
don't.
No.
Now I actually have an SLS app on my phone.
Mhm.
When we don't have our SLS camera with us or the batteries are dead or whatever,
Yeah.
I'll pull the SLS app off my phone. But great question.
I think you should tell people when they ask you that question, what's the best app on the phone to use? You should tell people the voice recorder app. Just
Okay.
leave that thing on the whole night.
Yeah, the whole thing. Let it just keep
Yeah.
recording.
Yeah.
Because I tell people as soon as you stop recording,
That's what
something
happens. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
this one. I've carried this one. This is an old school one. This is one of
Yep.
the new school ones. This audio recorder straight out of Amazon. It could record 95 or 98 hours straight or some crud like that on MP3.
How's
This
the
one though
battery
can
life
only
on that thing?
on this one. This is a USB, so it can run forever. It seems like
Mhm.
this one is the old school RCA voice recorder. This is the one you took to college. This thing records uncompressed wave files.
Mm.
Well, VOC files. It just when you save it, you can convert it into an uncompressed wave file. So there's no compression on this. You get the true sound out of it. It can only do 3 or 4 hours, but this is the one I go back to more and more time than I do than any of the other. And it's 2 AAAs. I always make sure I have the time set and everything done before I go out with it, and make sure it's got fresh batteries because I've had it have fresh batteries and go dead on me in less than an hour. But I think it's something else that was causing that at the time.
I also recommend actually old school disposable film cameras. Because here's the thing, like
Here go
digital
again.
cameras only interface with reality a certain way. If you want the full spectrum of potential ways to capture some evidence, you also want to go analog. And what
Yeah.
better, more convenient form of analog than a disposable film camera? You just drop off at the pharmacy afterwards.
Yeah,
With
that's
a regular
good.
flash.
My Polaroid.
Yeah. Yeah. Polaroids are a
still got
little
a-
bit much. That's a bit much. They're
I've
cool.
still got a Polaroid. I've still got a Polaroid. Well, I don't use it, but it's
Actually,
in the
no, they got
storage.
those modern Polaroids now that are a lot more smaller and more compact. But I hear like the Polaroid tape is actually like really pricey. But
Yeah, I think it is.
it would be cool to have the printer, the pictures right then and there. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to ask you guys this question. All right. What was the most foobar place you've ever been to?
What do you think?
In your opinion, if you got to think back, like the one, like you walk out there, you're like, that was a bad place.
Well, for me, it was I think Octagon Hall. So
Octagon Hall?
I did not. I got scratched really bad.
Mm.
Yeah, downstairs in the basement by the fireplace, the kitchen, and we were there doing a private investigation. And when we first got there, we already had stuff going off. We actually did a Facebook Live, and there was a disembodied voice of a baby that came through, and we all heard it live, and it was also on the recording. But then we went downstairs, and the girls on the team were so excited. This was like something they'd been wanting to do, and so we, got a hotel. We went up there and did all that. But we went downstairs, and I started feeling a horrible burn on my back, and I lifted my shirt, and there was a big old scratch down my back, and I got out of there. I didn't go back.
Yeah, disembodied baby crying is ooh.
It was just a negative
It's not
experience
good.
for me, but the other girls loved it there. But there was something, and it could have been there was something that just didn't like me, there. And I'm smart enough to know I'm not going to continue fooling with this. And
The stove is hot.
I just went out to the truck and sat on the tailgate and got some fresh air.
So Donnie, for me, so in my experience, a lot of people, being that we deal with, the public a good bit, people drag stuff with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had a girl, we were at the Drish House in Tuscaloosa. It's one of the venues that's listed in the Alabama 13 Ghosts of Jeffrey. But anyway, we were up in the tower, and every time this one particular female was given the dowsing rods, there was a silver tea set that was sitting on the table in front of her. Anytime she got the dowsing rods, this tea set would start vibrating on the table.
She had something like
the platter, as well as everything on the platter, was literally vibrating, and
yeah, you were shook up.
It was yeah. Now, and that would tie with Leslie and I stayed at the Fitzgerald. They've got it's actually a bed and breakfast. So if you want to stay there and do your own investigation, you can. But we were staying there after an event. I was going to bed.
You don't like it there, do you?
I don't like it there. But I was going to bed, and Leslie wanted to go down and get some EVP downstairs.
Yeah. Well, in the other suite.
In the other suite. So there's a keypad on the door. And so Leslie leaves and shuts the door.
We were the only people there.
We were locked in. And about 15, 20 minutes later, I hear the keypad key up, and then I hear the door open. And I said, "Hey, Leslie, is that you?" And I never got an answer from her. So I thought maybe she didn't hear me or whatever. So I went to sleep. Shortly after that, downstairs in the museum piece, the song Ring Around the Rosie started playing in the museum that was locked. And
radio. I was sitting, and it was exactly at midnight, and it came on playing like this old school Ring Around the Rosies. I mean, it was crazy. And I thought, well, somebody is here and they have turned the radio on, and nothing. I mean, it was on, but nobody was there. And we asked the museum
That's
curator.
creepy as hell. Yeah, damn.
We were like,
Wow.
"Do you have music come on, scheduled to play at midnight?"
No.
And she was like, "No." So it was weird, but I don't really feel negative there. Now, like Octagon Hall, that's got all that Civil War. Have y'all investigated at Octagon Hall in Kentucky?
No, I haven't done anything
got-
outside of, well, mostly Texas, Alabama, and did a little bit. I take that back. In DC, I did a bunch up there in that area in Northern Virginia. So
The only
Well-
investigating I've ever done was in the Northeast.
Well, that Octagon Hall, I mean, it's got people love it. I mean, they love it. It just wasn't for me,
Yeah.
And it has a lot of Civil War. I mean, so many people died, and all that stuff around it, and it's just too. Sometimes, the investigations, me like being a medium, it's too overwhelming.
yeah,
I'm such an empath. There's some places I just
Like a
can't.
battlefield.
Battlefields,
Little battlefield, yeah.
cemeteries.
mostly hospitals for me.
Hospitals.
Oh, yeah.
And insane and like asylums.
Mm.
Everybody wants to go, everybody wants to go to these asylums. And I'm
'cause they know there's something there. Honestly, they know there's something there.
I don't like to go. It's too overwhelming. It's almost like, but like, have y'all have investigated South Pittsburgh Hospital?
We actually had somebody on here in Tennessee. They what do you call it? Castle Rock Paranormal's done it, and a couple others that we've had on here. They've done it as well. In fact, one of their videos that they had, we showed, and it showed a shadow figure leaning out of one of the rooms, and then leaning back in. So, I mean, yeah, that's one of the ones that'd be fun to go do.
Well, I mean, we do it, and the people on the team love it, and people love it. It's not my favorite spot because it's just so overwhelming with.
Yeah.
And we have this on film. I could have sent this to you. I'm sorry I didn't have time to send you.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
But this was in 2019 or 2020. It was the very first time we ever investigated there.
Okay.
And I used myself as a trigger object, and I laid down on the operating table. Yes. So it was.
You don't know better than that already.
Well,
She does now.
Yeah, she does now.
But I'll tell you, this actually has saved my life. This is crazy. And I laid on the operating table, and then we had the Spiritus app going, and we had the Estes going, and as I was laying there, we had words coming through like, it said, I think it actually said my name. I have it recorded if y'all ever want to see it. And it says, needs to see doctor, like needs doctor. And then it said, and then people were asking, and I was just very still and pretending like I was under surgery, or whatever, trying to, and it said, heart problem.
Uh-oh.
And it said, I think it said cardiologist and surgery. And I mean, it was like, these words came through. And so when I got up, I was like, oh my God, it's apparently saying I have a heart problem. And you won't believe this, but like 6 months later, I started having problems and found out. I mean, it's a condition that I was actually born with that didn't really show up until I got older.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yes.
it
You had a
literally
heart
something
issue.
there told me I had a heart problem and I needed to go to the doctor. And that's when I was a believer. This place is crazy.
Can I ask you? Okay, I gotta ask you just one question. The entity that said that you had a heart problem, do you think it was because there was so much activity and the entity was so pronounced that it said that? Or do you think that it was like the spirit of a doctor and he had like a trained eye, so he looked down at you and he's like, oh, there's a cardiological issue?
Well, I mean, the theory is there are several doctors that are still there. And it was coming through the spirit box. I mean, somebody was, you know, and then it was also coming through the not the obelisk, and then the spiritist. So it was like 3 different things.
Yeah.
That was weird, you know, because sometimes I think, well, is the app or whatever listening to what we're
I wonder
saying?
if that's
You know?
like if that would be a way to like diagnose like future illnesses, you know?
Be kind of cool. Take them
That'd
there,
be
put them
kinda
on the
cool,
thing, say, okay, tell us what's wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, possibly, but then another thing. So I believe in guardian angels and spirit guides.
Mhm.
So was this possibly when I laid down on the table? Was this like a guardian or an angel telling me I've got a
Spirit guy coming
problem?
through right then, yeah.
So, but yeah, about 6 months later, I started really having problems, and I was like, went to the doctor, and they're like, told me what I've got, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm regulated now, thank goodness, and we got it under control.
And she's
There you
not
go.
using herself as a trigger object.
No, yeah, don't do that no more.
No.
Well, you
So that
can,
was-
just make sure it's not in that situation.
Right.
Right.
Anyway, God, we made it to an hour and a half. We could have kept going for a little while longer still, honestly.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and get y'all back though, that's for sure. Y'all got more stories to tell, and I mean, we didn't even get to the Bigfoot footprints you had out there.
Oh, yeah, we got the Bigfoot, and we got
And Randy,
wait, the disembodied voices at Atrox.
we've
Yeah,
got
I
a
just
lot
sent
more
those to you.
evidence that we would love to send to you, some photos and videos and
Oh
things.
man,
of
I
that
was
nature.
actively avoiding the topic of Bigfoot because I figured you guys were paranormal people, and every now and then you meet those people, right? Those paranormal
But
people who only talk paranormal.
We're really not Bigfoot people.
We're not.
The thing is that I ran into a Bigfoot print that I think is Bigfoot. We're in Bigfoot country up in Georgia, and
we're more on the Bigfoot side. Well, Randy's more on the paranormal side. Brandy is more on the Bigfoot side now, I guess. Well,
she does a lot more paranormal than she does.
She does a lot more paranormal. Yeah, I came into this whole scene for paranormal, but then I got sucked into the Bigfoot world, and now I'm a Bigfoot guy. So
but the Bigfoot stuff. I mean, we've met a lot of people lately that at the last ParaCon. I mean, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was, I ran upon this print, and we had heard weird noises the night before at this cabin that we stay at. And but see, I wasn't looking for Bigfoot. I just had a experience with this imprint.
A big print on the ground, like, my goodness, this is the Bigfoot.
Yeah, exactly. But
now I do try to avoid the UFO people, though. I mean, I'm interested in UFOs, but those UFO people are, between us guys, they're kind of weird.
Yeah, they're a little out.
Don't tell anyone I said that, though. It's just the internet. No one's listening.
Yeah,
it's all good.
They can't say UFO anymore. It's got to be UAP. No.
No, that would make them angry. No, you don't say that. You don't say the UAP word around them. Those UFO people, they get offended.
Well, they got to change, so
yeah,
it's on them.
Well, see, when you're not looking for it, you'll find it.
That's right.
You'll see a UFO or whatever.
It finds you.
Well, I never see UFOs because I'm always looking down at my phone. So, yeah, I'm UFO.
He plays
blind.
Pokemon Go a lot.
Yeah, I do.
Anyway, all right, guys. Hey, we appreciate y'all being here, and we'll get set up again to bring y'all back to do some more of this stuff.
Yeah, this was fun, guys. Thank you.
I'll grab you for Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon one time when I do my truth or tinfoil. We'll look at some of your stuff.
And where can people catch you if they want to reach out to you on social media or on the networks, or where are your links?
Well, we do have a website. It is southernghostgirls.com. Southernghostgirls.com. And then you can always email me through that. And then my the Facebook page is Southern Ghost Girls Tours and Paranormal Investigations.
Yep. And
They
I'm
can
putting a
message
link
me
to the
or whatever.
Facebook page out there right now.
Have you guys
Thank
thought
you.
about
That way,
doing like a YouTube channel down the road, like putting your stuff up on making YouTube
We,
content?
well, so
We would love.
Donnie, so glad you asked that question. We would love to do that. We would love to partner with someone that has the technical experience and
And
time and will to do that with us. We'd love for that partner to just to go, hey, that's me.
we
Yeah,
we
I'm
will talk
ready.
after this.
Be like
How's
a
that?
YouTube camera guy who runs the channel and does all the technical stuff.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not that hard to figure out. Like to just,
Nah.
I mean, you can just film with your phone, really. And
Yeah,
just,
I just like I am so run ragged, mom too, and full time insurance, and then
Yeah.
and then literally the tour company is it's a full time job. I mean, for real,
Oh,
yeah.
like
It can be
but-
real quick, huh?
yeah.
Mhm.
So if y'all have anybody out there watching the podcast tonight that would love to partner up with us from a technical perspective, bring them all.
Yeah, we got lots of stuff to put on YouTube.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna keep my head down on this one.
Yeah, we're like, look, because Randy's our tech guy. So like everyone just starts looking at Randy. Yeah, we really
Hey.
swell if that guy was out there, Randy.
Now, what we would like to do with you guys at some point, hopefully sooner than later, we'd love to get together physically and possibly meet at a location and break some bread and go on an investigation together. Check it out.
We got to get you guys set up with Mr. Moist down there, who's also in your parts, Alabama.
Yeah.
Mr.
Greg
Moist.
O.
Greg
I call him Mr. Moist.
We I've conversed with him before, so
I'm sorry.
But no, I told him I've done some work with some police departments as being a medium.
We get telephone calls from local police departments seeking information, and Leslie's pretty much on point. So
there you go.
Nice.
That's
so I told him if you need
yeah.
a medium, I mean, I'm willing to, be there.
Work where you got to work.
Help,
there you go.
Help with you.
Well, we will definitely be in touch on that one because I know of a couple places in Texas, if you ever come this far west, that would be kind of cool to go to. And there's one just down the road for me it's been on several shows out on Travel Channel, the Haunted Hill House, and we've done it before, and it never disappoints.
Well, we'll have to make it out there.
We'll have to come out there and have a steak with you.
Have you seen my teeth? I don't know if I can handle it. But I can definitely show you some steakhouses too. So that's true.
Awesome.
But this has been fun, guys. We really appreciate y'all being on here, and we will definitely set up for another show because, quite frankly, and like I said, if nothing else, I'll get you over onto the Truth or Tinfoil one. We can talk straight evidence after that.
Perfect.
All right, guys. Well, y'all make sure y'all tune in tomorrow night for Blondes and Boos at 8:30. I think. What you got? Are they at 7? They at 7 or 8? I don't remember what time they start. The Blondes and Boos are tomorrow night. I know that. That's all I remember. And Paul's over there. He's already started, so he's probably wondering why we're still on the air. So it is what it is. You just got to wait. So we'll see y'all next week. I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll figure it out. So see y'all later.
You know how to get in touch with me. So.
Oh, yeah. I got you. You got
we got your social media links up here in the chat as well. So if you guys want to reach out.
Yep.
Feel free. Facebook.com/Southern Ghost Girls.
And that's it.
Yep.
See y'all next time.
And a guy.
And a guy.